could see through my eyes. Bomb diggity. How's it going, folks? Just wait till I get paid. These videos are gonna start getting really cool. Wait, really cool. Look into my eyes. Look into me and just kill yourself. And my believers, come to me. Okay. Anyway, yesterday, on fire, right? And it is, like, people are so stupid, they, like, step right into my trap every time, you know? It's just like, even if I warn them, you know? They don't have a friend, like Admiral Akbar, you know? It's a trap! Alright. Remember, I'm not in a good mood, alright? If you see me out being happy, I'm just happy, I'm joyous, you know? Because I do good deeds all the time. I'm a righteous, holy person. I don't live off of moods. I'm not moody. I'm always thinking first before I react to anything. You know, aware of my surroundings, aware of what's going on in front of me. You know, always prepared for any yahoos that try to make noise, but they never step to me. Nobody ever confronts me, and I'm just like, if that makes you feel brave, you are delusional on top of your delusion, on top of your delusion, on top of... You get what I'm saying. Infinitely deluded is you. Ooh. And besides, I like to be funny because the ladies like the funny. And being fun. Do you know how to take a woman out on a date? I'm not talking to fags, of course. Hold on. I'm not talking to queers, of course. Okay, so here's the thing. I am tired of people's bullshit around here. You know? In your own communities. You know, think about it. Like, why are you making so much goddamn noise? You know, what's your problem? I've got a pet over there. I won't tell you what it is. Anyway, so people need to understand that I do not care. You know, if, like Limp Bizkit said, if you don't care, then I don't care. You know, it's like, people don't understand. And then, you know, they think it's about them. And I'm like, think about the community. All right? Think about the neighborhood. There are people that want peace in their neighborhood. And if you're out there doing bullshit with your dog or your horns or, you know, like if you watched that episode that I talked about last night, you know, it's just like, and then people like going over and beating some couple down, you know, like you definitely need to make sure to watch that because it's intense. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. And if I have any statements later, I will make them. Okay, so, of course, like I say, the quotes for, the single scripture, you know, the single verses will be on the episode, will be on the lesson tomorrow. I'm almost caught up from the hiccup. Almost. Tomorrow, I just got to do a few more things additional to my usual workload. Today. You know, I'm shooting it the night before. But anyway, today, I just got to do things, you know, and get everything ready. And I'm totally caught up. I'm going to continue to bring all social media in, everything. You know, it's going to be really an awesome network, you know, and then I'm thinking about like considering some other networks, like not just, on social media, but maybe some news networks. But any news networks out there, you can't be biased. You can't be Republican or Democrat. You can't be that kind of biased. You have to be like, I don't know, I don't know. I don't watch news a lot because it's bullshit. But I do pay attention to articles, like those cheerleaders over in Lubbock. For one, it gave me a couple of new torture ideas. And for another, that coach is going to get it. Like, don't worry, cheerleaders. It's not just because you're cheerleaders, but it does help. But at the same time, I'm like, he can count on Hell Prison, Antarctica, Hell, the whole thing. All right. Okay, now, let's see. So, yeah, don't worry about that. Where was I? Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to go over is the Tao. And this is very important. Okay. This talks about favor and disgrace, okay? And this is important to understand because whenever I was first meeting all the models when the first persecution started, I used to rate them and put them in like numerical order. I would redo all my likes. I don't use likes anymore, and I can't even delete the ones that I want to, so... But like I would rate them like every, I don't know, what was it, every series or something like that. And so I'd reorganize them. So, and then of course now with my women, there's kind of like a competition. Like I'm not choosing a queen. I probably won't choose a queen until I do, that kind of thing. It could be a year, it could be 2 years. Right now I'm not focused on that. I'm just focused on not focusing on one particular one right now. So in that way, it's like a 100-point system. I rate my women, depending on their behavior or what they do or how they are or, their attitude, like a whole bunch of different things. Like if they're not taking care of themselves, that kind of shit. And, it's like 1 to 100, it's not a rating system. It's just like whoever can score highest kind of thing. But still, take it from the bottom sentence here, all right? Therefore, he who would administer the empire, honoring it as he honors his own body, may be employed to govern it. Let me start that over. Therefore, he who would administer the empire, honoring it as he honors his own body, may be employed to govern it. And he who would administer with the love which he bears to his own body may be entrusted with it. Homosexuality is such a topic, these days. And when I first started preaching during the persecution, a lot of gay people got mad, and like even up to recently, they got the wrong idea about it, I was getting mad at the people who were being dumb, But the empire, as y'all all know now, those who aren't going to be a part of the kingdom, it's an awesome government, I mean, I do love the people in the empire, but like, I'm not in love with you, it's like I love you and I want the best for you. Why wouldn't I save the world and save the humans? I'm Superman. It's like I am the Dreamweaver. I'm King Dreamweaver. I am the king. You need to trust me. And now a lot of those people who want to live in the empire are starting to understand the mechanisms that work within Dreamweaver world. And of course, as you learn more, you'll gain more understanding. But I can tell with the attitudes of a lot of people that things are changing, except for the the imbeciles around, whether in my technology or outside. It's just like, and they just keep doing it. They admit they're wrong and they keep doing it. But anyway, that's not what this is about. So as far as favor, and any of that, I don't really, because if you do one, then one feels disgrace. If you favor one, the other one feels disgrace. And that's just kind of a losing way to do things, all right? Megan's talking to me in my head. That's something else I'm going to talk about at the end. Okay, so, oh yeah, and so I regard it like my body, There's another part of the Tao that says, how do I know that the empire is so? By what is within me, I've been through all that. I've sinned every sin except killing someone. I haven't murdered anyone yet, so, I would say knock on wood, but I'm not superstitious. But, yeah, it's like, and I won't until it's time, everything needs the proper time and procedure, that kind of thing. But yeah, hell is on earth, so you never know, evil people. And I'm talking about the people who are against me, those who stand down and just say, okay, we're waiting for the empire. That's fine, So that's what's important. Is that's the way when I created the government, I was just like, if I were to save the world, if I were to save all these people, how would I do it, And then it slowly evolved. I wrote the government chapter my second semester in going back to college. And remember, a short timeline here. I went to college after high school. I went to Lubbock Christian University. Couldn't hack it. Wasn't ready. I was immature. I came back and I got mad at God. I used to get so mad at God. This was before the transformation. Okay, so I understand that. I used to yell and scream what the fuck are you doing? And I was in my cowboy boots and drinking whiskey out in the Albertsons parking lot, listening to country music. And I was just like, I'm done with God. It's I don't believe God. So I was an atheist for 2 years. This was before the depression and the suicide attempt and all of that. All right. So later, around the end, I'll tell you that story later. But then that happened, the loser days in my 20s. And so people need to understand that I didn't learn atheism from my philosophy, ethics, logic teacher. All right. I understood him. And he understood me. I was an atheist, so I understood what he was talking about. I was just really wild. I needed that kind of conditioning, you could say. I needed that professional view. And that took a while for me to do that. I'm still wild, but I'm in control, of everything. I control without controlling, and I also control what I control. And eventually I will directly control everything, but I always am in charge and in control of everything because I don't control. I haven't done anything to these people. And they keep on cowardly attacking me all the time. It's just with noise pollution. And it's just what are you trying to prove, Anyway, okay. So the Quran scripture here, actually it's one chapter. It talks about, people will wonder, exactly how it works. And it says here, the one whose good deeds are heavy on the scales will have a pleasant life. But the one whose good deeds are light will have the bottomless pit for a home. And I've told you, hell is bottomless. I can keep putting you lower and lower and lower. If you're one of my enemies, you don't understand that you keep making it worse for yourself. Instead of stopping and stopping your punishment, maybe me taking away a little bit. And you might say, well, we don't care. We don't believe that. It doesn't matter. Whenever I am torturing you and you're begging me, stop, please stop. And I'm like, didn't you say you didn't care? Didn't you say you didn't believe me? Well, I believe you. I care now. Well, it's too late now. You need to think about things. Stop living in the moment. Stop living off your emotions. Use your brain, idiots. So anyway, you know the term, well, I've done my good deed for the day. Where did that come from? You know, it's like, you know, every command you do, every good deed you do for people, everything you do, if you have a righteous mindset, you know, meditative mindset, is you're always doing good deeds. Like, when did that become the bare minimum? You know, it's like, oh, I did my good deed for the day. Like, people think like, well, all I got to do is do one good thing today, you know? And some people don't do any, you know? So, you know, even if your good deeds are light, it's not like you can make up for it, you know? You can't pay me any amount of money to get out of hellfire. You can't pay me any amount of money to get out of hell prison or hell. I upped the settlement today. It's always going to be in $5 billion increments, you know? So, I mean, if you got the money, you know, like, you know, I guess you can keep going, but also think about hell and hell prison and hell, you know. You can get out of Antarctica if you pay the settlement, but you can't get out of the punishment. But remember, I can add punishments, take them away. I'm thinking about new tortures every day. You know, it's like, I am so mad at people, you know, it's like, but I'm not an angry person. It's just like I store that, you know, it's like, I file that away under the anger file, you know, that kind of shit. Or if I hate somebody so bad, but like, we file that away under the hate, you know, like, don't let hate and anger consume you or you're never going to understand it. You know, you're never going to understand how to be precise and accurate. Okay. You got to think sniper, right? Not just a gun, but something that is very, very accurate, you know. That's how precise you need to be. You need to be perfect. So you need to clear that out of your head and just keep using your brain. Okay, the next one, the Psalms, is talking about how awesome music is. You know, I told Taylor last night that you know, of course, everybody knows if you listen to Alice in Chains how harmonic they are. You know, like they're really good at harmony. And then it was kind of hypocritical, but if you don't know the Church of Christ, what I grew into, like I am grateful, not for what they did, like, and they all lied to me, but I had a really good youth minister, you know, somebody I still talk to from time to time, somebody who's going to get credit. But like all the others, even my atheist teacher, I outgrew them. I outgrew my elders, you know. Like their song says, I am wiser than my elders, you know, that kind of thing. So for that, it kept me humble in high school. You know, even though I was wild and living in suburbia, and we thought we could get away with whatever we wanted to because we were, you know, white kids. You know, and like later on, I found out that I'm not white, that kind of thing, and like, but the whole point is like it says talk about music, make music to the Lord. You know. And so what I was going to say is, since the Church of Christ doesn't believe in using instruments, a cappella was very important. There's even a band called a cappella, you know. It's like, and so I know how to harmonize, you know. So music is very important. Like I love music. Like I would be honored, like if one of the bands I like would come and play at a party, you know, like a special party I have for like the Kingdom, you know, or something like that, you know, or a few bands, you know, just make it like a total party, you know, party people, you know. I'm not saying that I'd expect the Beastie Boys, you know, because MCA, awesome dude, totally in heaven. MCA is gone. They don't have any need to. Like, it's like they made something so perfect. And they just left it like that, you know. It's like, and it's not about the money with them either, you know. It's like we have no need to bring on another artist, you know. I'm not talking out like Alice in Chains, like Limp Bizkit. I mean, not Limp Bizkit. Pardon me. Linkin Park, like, and it's not because she's a woman. It's just like you're not going to be able to match what you did, you know. It's like, anyway, that story. Anyway, so, and it's just all about glorifying and all about just making me glad, because when I'm glad, it's not about moods. It's just like you want to do that. He will judge the world in righteousness and the peoples with equity. And that goes back to even the empire. They're starting to understand. I see how it is now. Native Americans, I'm not even worried about them. Like, they're going to be joyful to have all that land, I know it's not as much land as they might want, but I know that they'll be very happy that somebody actually made an effort, And they thought it was a white man, the Hopi prophecy, a white brother, but it just happens to be a redheaded, freckled father, So, so I'm the one that Native Americans has been waiting for. You understand that? Okay, so this quote from Solomon: "Wealth brings many friends, yet a poor man's friend deserts him." Like this whole thing about contempt with the poor. It's just like wealth. Friends aren't that important. Friends are overrated. Okay, like Socrates says, in friendship, you've got to go slow and steady. That's the way I do with the businesses. Like the WNBA, it took a long time for me to figure out how I wanted to work them into the equation. You know what I'm saying? Any news organizations, I would also appreciate an interview, that kind of thing, but it's going to take time for me to trust you before I even start recommending you. I might post one of your articles or something, but for me to actually promote you, I have to make sure you're legit. Okay, and that's the same with everything I do. I'm not in a hurry. There are times when you can work smart and not work hard. And then there's a time when you got to work hard and you got to work smart. You got to put all your work in and get caught up, like I have been with the hiccup. So yeah, if you don't have money, you're not going to have many friends. But that's not the reason I don't have friends. I'm just like, I have had it with friends. It's like they're all backstabbers. It's just they just tried to influence me in ways that their evil minds told them to. They're evil spirits. And I took those away, and like I said, that's why so many people, or influential people, locally or globally, are being stupefied. So anyway, okay. So the teaching of Buddha, really good one. We're making good time today. All right. Of all the worldly passions, lust is the most intense. All other worldly passions seem to follow in its train. And you think about it. Lust is not just sex. There's bloodlust. There's gambling lust, right? There's murder. That is bloodlust. But like almost any sin you think about, any passion you think about, it's going to cause you problems. Like people that are like, oh, I have such a passion for this, and I think positively, and I feel so good about this, and I'm like, they're set on a course of destruction right there. They're self-destruct. So remember, passion is great if you have it within that restricted domain, within the Dreamweaver rules, within the kingdom rules, within the empire rules. It's like, no, murderers won't be out on the street. There are going to be laws that keep, most of the laws, well, I should say some of the laws are going to stay that are universal, but throw out all the technical crap. My tax plan, whatever. Like, it's very easy. 25%, no deductions, no write-offs. Everybody's got to pay taxes. Everyone. And every business, and every organization, and every government. And it just goes on and on and on. So, well, what I mean by that is You know, the empire government will have to pay taxes, and yes, they will have representation. You know, this is not me just ruling you with an iron fist. But for violent people, of any kind, you know, you're getting locked up. Like if you're playing a game like that idiot, that football player, and people see violence, and of course everybody will be looking for it by then. Police are going to come out on the field and arrest you right there. You understand? Or robot police is what I have planned. But you know, if cops want to do it, they can. They can have a robot buddy. But anyway, all right. So remember, keep your passions only funneled. Like, think about it. Like, if you're doing good and you know and you got a person with you, you know, like for instance, one of my women, the passion is going to be through the roof because it's going to be within that restricted domain. You can be as passionate as you want as long as you're doing the right thing, you know. You're not going to have as much of an effect in the empire because you won't be as focused with your passion because the rules are more relaxed. There's not as many rules, you understand? And as far as the universal rules for the empire, I'll get around to that. There's a lot of things, like I said, I'm bringing everything together, even things in my past, like that I used to remember that I did, like even back when I was a teenager in my 20s. I'm bringing everything back, like all the things that were good about everything that I've done in my life, you know, that kind of thing. But it takes time, you know, the second creation. It's not going to just be instant, you know, it's going to take time, you know. Getting all these people to hell prison, it's going to take time, you know. Getting people out to Antarctica, it's going to take time. But don't worry, we're going to live forever, you know. So